Weather played a factor in Friday's Jays game. There simply wasn't one, but everything was okay weather-wise Saturday night. Roy Halladay got the call for the Jays, opposed by Paul Burton, making his Bo Sox debut. After going 3-10 prior to the All-Star break, Bird is the word, as he's won 4 straight starts, posting an ERA of 1.24. While Manny Ramirez was perhaps the biggest name dealt this season, the two most productive have been starting pitchers. Both Rich Harden and CC Sabathia have been absolutely huge with their new teams. Sabathia, a perfect 8-0 in 9 starts with the Brewers, while in 7 starts with the Cubs, Harden has been 3-1 with an ERA of 1.50. Baseball now, where the Jays were in jeopardy of being swept at the Rogers Center for just the 3rd time this season. The previous 2 took place in the opening month of the year versus Oakland and Texas. On Sunday, Toronto was in tough, facing All-Star pitcher Cliff Lee, who is looking to become the American League's first 16-game winner. But Lee has never beaten the Blue Jays. After being a regular on the Leafs blue line the past 2 years, frustration is starting to set in for Ian White, as the defenseman has been a healthy scratch in every game this season, and his status with the team doesn't appear to be changing anytime soon.
It's a tough situation. You know, I never thought I'd be in this position. You know, you can't train for it or anything, but you know, you just got to keep plugging away.
White insists he's in the best shape of his NHL career, especially with all the extra skating after every single practice. Now, if the rumors are true, there is some genuine interest in the puck-moving defenseman, but his options are limited. If the Leafs decide to send him down to the Marlies, he would most likely be claimed by another NHL club, thus leaving the final decision to be made by general manager Cliff Fletcher. The Leafs truly feel they are in a rebuild mode, and critics of the team confirm that. 11 players on the current roster are 25 years old or younger, and growing pains are expected.
If you didn't, you know, it's like I said before, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Those growing pains will be tested early as they face the defending Stanley Cup champion Red Wings on Thursday, followed by a Saturday home appearance against the Montreal Canadiens, a team many feel are the class of the Eastern Conference. Joined now by Mike Brophy of Hockey Central. Mike, we talked about the super rookies, Schenn and Stamkos, both on the roster. Both will be part of the NHL this season, but both used in completely different categories.
Well, that's certainly been the case early in the season, and I like what the Toronto Maple Leafs have done with Luke Schenn. They gave him every opportunity to succeed.
Defenseman Thomas Caberlet is looked upon with the Leafs as being a leader on the blue line, but his play this year has been sporadic at best.
Well, that's being polite. You know, Thomas Caberlet a couple of years ago was identified.
As Toronto hits Broadway to face the blue shirts tonight, the question is, who gets the call on the blue line? For the answers, we head to MSG, where David Bastl is standing by. David?
Brad, you know, that's a really good question. Currently, the Toronto Maple Leafs, of course, have 8 active defensemen, so they're always sitting out 2 players and even 1 more on injured reserve. Ron Wilson has had to juggle to get the right 6 in the mix. Ian White is a healthy scratch once again, and joining him on the sidelines for the first time this season is Carlo Koliakovo. Darren newcomer Lee Stempniak passed his physical this morning and will play in tonight's game. Head coach Ron Wilson confirmed he'll be on the team's 3rd line alongside Dominic Moore and Jason Blake. When asked why he wasn't on the top 2 lines, Wilson said he didn't want to mess with the chemistry, but look for Stempniak to play all throughout the lineup, including the power play, as he makes his Maple Leaf debut.
And he got him, and the Orioles win. What a big, big win for the Birds. Sherrill with a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning.
In his first year as a big league closer, George Sherrill is racking up saves for the Baltimore Orioles. In fact, he's even among the league leaders. But his journey to reach the majors has been a save in itself, and one Sherrill has made over and over.
Yeah, it was a long trip, you know, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Sherrill is the definition of a journeyman. He's played all over North and South America. For close to 5 years, he toiled in the Frontier and Northern Leagues before getting his big break.
I started in Evansville, went to places like London, like Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and then went to Sioux Falls, went up to Winnipeg. I think after my first year is when I got to go to Columbia. Got to go through the Texas League, and then went to Puerto Rico and Venezuela, and now in the big league.
1-2 pitch. Strikes him out to end the inning.
Sherrill spent about a year and a half with the Winnipeg Goldeyes waiting for his pro shot. Here's where the story gets personal. As a reporter in Winnipeg, I tried out for the Goldeyes as part of a series on the team. I actually faced George in batting practice. I go to training camp with your club. Do you remember facing me?
We have footage? I remember that, but I don't remember what happened. I can't remember what happened. Probably because I've faced so many hitters by now.
I think I took you to left a couple times.
Oh, really?
No. No, not at all. Once I showed George the old Goldeyes gear, his memory started coming back. But for now, he's putting those days behind him and focusing on his fresh start in Baltimore. And there's already a new tradition he's involved with, the George Sherrill salute, a tribute to the straight brim on his cap.
Every time I bend it, it's kind of like crooked, I guess, just because my left hand's stronger than my right, so it always ends up a little crooked. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to wear it how they give it to me.
Immediately when he came here, I always was getting on him with his hat, and that was the worst look I've ever seen on the baseball field. So a few closes into it and a few saves, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays first base coach was making fun of him. I started laughing. I was flipping my hat up. You know, I was doing this whole thing, and as soon as he won the game, I went and flipped it up. So I told the boys, from now on, when George saves a game, we're going to flip our hats up.
Long gone are the days of riding buses and making just enough money to get by. There is nothing minor league about George Sherrill anymore. His days of baseball obscurity have taught him to appreciate the good life. But no matter what league he's in, Sherrill will always feel at home on the baseball diamond.
I've just had like other jobs and hated them, and I hated going to school, and you know, I love playing baseball, you know, ever since I was a little kid.